The rise of democratic movement in Libya. Libya is an Arab state in Mediterranean coast of North Africa, Egypt and Sudan in east, Niger and Chad in south, Algeria and Tunisia in west. Libya became independent nation in 24 December 1951. King Idris, headed constitutional and hereditary democratic monarchy, came into existence. Libya is the most important petroleum producing country in the world. King Idris was the last hereditary monarchy of Libya when a group of military officers revolted against the king. Under the leadership of Muhammad Gaddafi, he was a revolutionary politician who gains popularity in democracy by exploiting the emotion, prejudice and ignorance to arouse some against others. So there arose one question. Why did this Muhammad Gaddafi remove the king? In Libya there was corruption and cronyism under the rule of King Idris, and the growing Arab nationalist sentiments regarding this matter, and there arose a 60 days war. On September 1969, King Idris was in Turkey for medical treatment. He was deposed or removed in a coup d'etat by a group of Libyan army officers under the leadership of Muammar Gaddafi. So Gaddafi continued his rule along with political parties but banned them in 1972 and emerged as a military rule till the collapse of Gaddafi's government in 2011. In the meanwhile, anti-Gaddafi force. So anti-Gaddafi means in Libya there was some few people, they were opposed to Gaddafi's rule. They pressurized the government for the introduction of multi-party democracy through National Transitional Council. So multi-party democracy. In India we can see in multi-party political system. So here anyone is free to start his own political party and all have the capacity to gain the control of government officers separately or coalition. NTC is a de facto government. De facto means sometimes they exist or holding the position in fact but not necessarily in legal right. So NTC is a de facto government of Libya for a period during and after civil war in which rebel forces to overthrow the rule of Muammar Gaddafi. Actually in Libya there was a dictator rule. So in meanwhile, some of the anti-Gaddafi forces pressurized the government for the introduction of multi-party democracy through National Transitional Council in February 2011. So this made angry towards the dictator Muammar Gaddafi, and who became more furious. Even this Muhammad Gaddafi ignored United Nations Security Council in this regard. But NTC or National Transitional Council declared itself as a sole governing body. It's supported by more than 100 countries. After the death of Gaddafi was assassinated on 20th October 2011. The Vice Chairman Abdul Hafiz Goga declared that Libya to be liberated on 23rd October 2011, 3 days after Gaddafi's assassination. Chairman Mustafa Abdul Jalil, he was the chairman of National Transitional Council, said that Libya would become an Islamic democracy. Libya has been governed under a temporary constitution declaration since the defeat of previous government in the 2011 civil war. Later in 2012, an election was held for the General National Congress (GNC) to replace the National Transitional Council (NTC). As per the declaration, Libya became a parliamentary republic government by the General National Congress, which was elected in July 2012. The executive branch is appointed by the GNC, that is General National Congress, and led by the Prime Minister, while the President of the GNC is the de facto head. De facto head means sometimes they may existing or holding position in fact, but not necessarily by legal rights. So, the President of GNC is the de facto head of the state through not explicitly or not clearly described as such in the declaration. The main responsibility of GNC or General National Congress is to form a constituent assembly which will write Libya's permanent constitution for approval by the referendum. Referendum means a direct universal vote in which an entire electorate is invited to vote on a particular proposal, or even can have a nationwide or local form. This may result in the adoption of new policies or specific law. At last, the law of Libya is based on Sharia.